here for a Sunday night Savage Tide conversion stream. I'm back. I believe I've got Tagala here with me. Hey, how's it going? It's so hard with the new Discord deciding to. I have no idea exactly what. Change all of the names for reasons. I'm sure somebody who knows Discord stuff better than me, which I think is every admin on my server, can it better explain why they're making these name changes that are upsetting people. But anyway, I get to look at my Discord and I just see lists of letters instead of names for most people, which is a shame. All right, I'm back. Hey! I had to take off last Thursday night. I went to the dentist's. The dentist's office. Occasionally I forget how English works. I went to the dentist's office, got my root canal, and I go to sit in the office to go pay them. And I'd like to know, by the way, my root canal, $3. Hey, gotta love that national health insurance we got out here. So I look at my phone, and there's just a message from the school, and I now have to translate. And I'm like, okay, all right, my son has a fever. Oh, no. So I quickly picked up my son, and now I was like, oh, I can't do a stream with a sick son in the room. One, he needs all the attention and love. And two, that's just going to be distracting. So I said, I'm just going to cancel the stream. What I did do, because I'm going to talk about that a little today, the Thursday's the homebrew and design stream, and also it's sort of become the home for adventure design, which sort of started because of a conversation with Risky, and then it's sort of become that. I uploaded a little, just a little filler sort of video on the YouTube about that. Essentially, what I wanted to do last Thursday was put some finishing touches on the wizard ideas that we had, which was essentially going to a school, studying a very specific type of magic, and then essentially forming that into a class dedication, which we got right over here. Yeah, some dental is honest. Yeah, it's insane. I remember in America, I went to go get my teeth fixed, and my teeth are an ongoing problem for a very, very strange reason. I'm missing 2 teeth. I had baby teeth form, adult teeth never. There was just none. There was missing. So my teeth actually started to grow in against each other, and it's crushing the other teeth and breaking the other teeth. It's horrible. And I couldn't get bridges when I was a kid. So it's been an ongoing problem because of money and insurance. So now living in Japan, it's like, oh yeah, we'll fix that. Here you go, $3, in and out. Thank you. I say in and out. It's a 2-month process, but anyway. So what we did, we made a class archetype for Wizard. It's definitely not finished. The goal is toss this up on Pathfinder Infinite for pay what you want. Definitely telling people don't pay more than $1, and maybe contacting people. If anyone pays more than that, be like, hey, real fast, this is all free. I made this on stream. You can just read it. But, give people hey, download it for free and have something you could show a GM. But there are problems with it, and I'm not super thrilled with some of these. For instance, I think I even talked about it on stream even 2 weeks ago. Brutal Magic. It's a meta magic focus ability, so you can only use it at most with preparation 3 times in a fight, which is more than enough for sure. But it's also not actually good. Oh, my wife. Good timing. Okay. She's sorry. She sent me a picture of a lot of money, so I'm concerned. She better not be getting into dealing drugs again. Oh, it's a bad picture of money. All right. Anyway, for always this timing. It's like, hey, block it off this time, please. That sounds rude. But what this does, I'll zoom in a bit here. Brutal Magic is, if your next action is to cast a spell requiring a spell attack roll on a successful hit, instead of rolling damage, the spell instead deals the maximum amount of damage. Which sounds really good, except it absolutely isn't. For instance, it's a focus power, it costs an action, and it's a spell attack roll. And, okay, so, oh my goodness, she's heading still. Okay. It's very loud, these notifications, I think. Hoping only I can hear them. Anyway, so if it hits, you spent a whole turn to deal the maximum amount of damage on a spell attack roll, which is a lot, and the variance from that from a spell saving throw, you're going to get more bang for your buck with it. That said, I had a friend that looked at it, and he goes, a friend who plays blaster casters, essentially. And he said, yeah, but why wouldn't I just use that for True Strike? Why wouldn't I True Strike a spell attack roll instead? And I was like, yeah, I guess that's right. No, you can hear them? Yeah, very loud. I will hate doing this to my wife. I'm going to mute her. I'm going to mute her. Literally every time I stream, she's like, I'm just going to send a few 15 messages rapid fire. Okay. Anyway, so this ends up being a fun idea in theory. The idea was the old meta magic empower spell or maximize spell, which was to just make max damage on a spell. Bringing that back, putting it in a much more limited capacity. But it doesn't, that damage is within the expected bounds of the system. So it's like, yeah, you 10d10 and you hit for 100 damage? Yep, to be expected. That's why we have the spell built that way. So it's not really doing anything new. You're taking a whole turn to do it, using a focus point, and it can miss. And if it does, it's a very feel-bad ability. So that's probably going to go the way of the dinosaur. Or I might change it into free action, or, something. So Brutal Magic's going to get changed. I believe anything else I didn't quite like. Oh, I did already change this. Went from heighten +2 to 2d10 to heighten +1 and 1d10, just to smooth out all that. Yeah, just it's a nice little something to show off. I was gonna make another school for it, but I'm done. I'm not gonna obsess over every little idea that I get, because I can do that. As you can probably see, if you're on the server, oh my god, I have 7 games. I want to say 7 games right now that I'm running, where I'm just like, it would be a fun idea. I want to run a game this way, and then before I know it, I've got replications going, and I'm opening up channels, and I'll make an offhanded joke comment where I'm like, it'd be funny, a Fumbus dating sim. Let me just, for jokes, let me just write out a quick outline. Now all I have to do is hire an artist, and someone who can code. Yeah, and then I'm, oh god, I'm spiraling into another project that I should not be doing. Yep, okay, so Tagala, it's funny you say that. That is exactly what my friend suggested as well. He said, just make it a reaction. I think that's, and I was like, yeah, that's probably the easiest way to go with it. Make it a reaction, and I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you could True Strike it, and you use a spell slot to True Strike it, and then you get off the spell attack, and then if it does hit, you use a focus power to further empower it. And I was like, yeah, is it too gimmicky? He's like, well, I like Blaster Caster, so no. Well, all right. I mean, we built, if you haven't seen this before, we built the Blaster Caster wizard, so to speak. As the School of War Wizardry, you get a +1 item bonus to spell attack rolls, because they don't get item bonuses to spell attack rolls. Goes up to 2 at 10, which puts them just +1 over marshals at levels 19 and 20. Which is not a big deal. Matter of fact, it's a fine-ish capstone. And yeah, they get abilities like, a one-action better Force Bolt. Somebody who loves Force Bolt because it can't miss. This is the better force bolt that is essentially Eldritch Blast from D&D 5e or 4th edition, depending on when you started playing. So, not something I love, as I like to play my casters in a different way, blastery. I say playing it the exact same way with my True Strike spellblending Aphorite android in Pathfinder Society right now. Which, if you don't know that build, is Aphorite and android both get True Strike in Ancestry feats, which for an Ancestry feat is a very nice, easy pickup. And then you get Spellblending, you spellblend away all your lower level spells to higher level spell attack rolls. And with the Rune Scarred Dedication, you can just take True Strike as innate spells in every slot. So all your lower level spells become these higher level spells that you're using for ray attacks, and then all of your innate spells are true strikes. So you turn yourself into a turret that deals just bunches of damage. It's actually not a super fun playstyle, but I like it, so we'll see if it works. See how it goes. All right, so we did that. Going forward, though, I want to stop, I don't want to just turn the Thursday night stream into me doing this one thing for months and months on end. So I'm done with the wizard. Put it off to the side. I'm going to tweak this on my own later. I'll throw it on Pathfinder Infinite once I navigate how to do that. So let's close down this. What we are going to do on this upcoming Thursday night, we're going to make a skill feat, or some skill feats. Which is something I don't like doing because the skill feats are tight. When you think about making a skill feat, you have to think, what does the system not allow me to do already? And as well, one of the things you'll see people talk about on forums all the time is if a skill feat exists, it nullifies the ability to do that without the skill feat, which I don't agree with. Generally, I would say that a skill feat makes something easier. However, do feel like there's some room for some skill feats in the charisma area. So I'm going to play around with that idea, and we're going to make a level 0 adventure, which I'm super excited about. I love all of these little subsystems that we don't get to interact with enough because it's not profitable for Paizo to make these things. Paizo's not going to put out a solo adventure. Hi, I'm the GM that wants to buy the solo adventure. That's a very small subsection of a very small market. Level 0 adventures are also not going to sell too well because that's not super exciting for players. We're going to make one because, 1, we don't have a market to worry about, and 2, I kind of want to just try it and see, and maybe we can build off of there and make a little mini campaign. Definitely stopping before we get too in the weeds. Okay, so that's plans for Thursday. After my next root canal, of course. He says, drinking his second cup of coffee for the day. I can't imagine why my teeth are... Well, I just explained why my teeth are bad. All right, today we are going to be doing adventure number 2 of Savage Tide. And I'd love to say I got a lot more done. Mostly, I got really big problems taken care of with Savage Tide. For instance, navigating to Kraken's Cove, which is this whole mess, and there's still some bits to change. In the original module, it's sort of, it's this very weird way of getting there, where it's okay, it's 60 miles away, you could walk, but it's awful, and there's going to be random encounters. You can get there by boat. You can hire people to get there. They won't take you there. You can diplomacy to lower the price, to do this, to do that. It's a non-stop for 16 hours on a fishing boat. You have to, if you're taking a rowboat, it's this way. If it's this, and then when you get there, you can't actually get in there. So all of these things actually feel very vague and GM side. Where it's just do kind of make it difficult for players to get there is essentially what it's saying. So what we did was, here's our recall knowledge about it. Safest fastest method is getting there by boat. A rowboat can be purchased. There. You can hire someone to take you to Blood Bay. You can get round-trip passage. These guys will then say, it then says that you cannot get there without sea charts. and you make a sailing lure to save the boat, but you still like can't get there without sea charts. I'm gonna think about how to deal with sea charts, because you actually do get some later in the adventure. And I want to double check it right now. It's in Captain Gigantes, or Captain... I want to say Gigante is his name. Gigante. His treasure... Da-da-da-da. Or is it over here? Here we go. No. Where is it? Anyway, he's got a set of sea charts. And I want to say the sea charts are supposed to help out with the next adventure. But I'm curious if... I mean, it's kind of... this is where the problem with how dungeon adventures were laid out. Dungeon adventures, even the adventure paths, were laid out with the idea that it'd be like a one-and-done deal. Even if you're running an adventure path. Generally, they want people to run the adventure path. But, if you one and done it, then here's a great jumping off point for the rest of your campaign. So if they say, oh yeah, these are sea charts, these would be great for coming back to this pirate cove to use as a base. That's understandable for the time. But it also makes kind of no sense here. Here we are. The trophy of any real value is a leather-bound collection of nautical charts well over 300 years old. Remarkably accurate and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so kind of what I'm thinking is that you can get basic sea charts that'll be able to get you to Kraken's Cove, and these will act as another level, like a superior version, give you that bonus. Those are the thoughts right now. We have, taking a look through, converted pretty much... Well, let's go back to what I had done. We have our monkey swarm of savage monkey swarms that will burst into acid when killed because of the abyssal plague. The big thing I did, which took me a night, my goodness, of just going over rules and thinking how this would work, what the author Nicholas Logue intended, and a lot of reading, was designing this hazard. I couldn't actually make it a hazard because every time I thought of a way to make it a hazard, there's no way for the players to really interact with it. You cannot stop this from happening. So what it is they're descending essentially a narrow walkway along the side of a cliff, and midway through, a nearby boat breaks away from its moorings and on fire slams into the cliff, breaking the center of the walkway and dropping the players to the water. So lots of math was there. We did a bunch of that on the last stream. Let's see here. Yeah. I had to make sure that players would be threatened by it, but it wasn't just like, massive damage, you're dead for walking that way. Anyone in the center 50 feet of the walkway struck by the boat takes an additional 1d10 bludgeoning, 1d10 fire as the burning ship impacts, and then you would fall about... I wrote this down. Oh my goodness. Descends 100 for simplicity's sake. Assume the distance between the walkway and the water below decreases 10 feet for every 25 feet of the walkway. Trust me, and that's the cleaned up language, because what it was vague, which I guess is fine. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even really say. It says, they're 40 feet high, can be scaled with a DC 15 climb check. It implies that there's an incline, because you have to go from 40 feet down to sea level, or ground level. So, and then it says halfway through, it smashes in, dropping everyone to the ground. So, for simplicity's sake, we somewhat defined what that is. Oh my goodness. And this was a mess putting together. Alright. What else did we do? Got some savage pirates in here. And introducing the squawking, not the squawking, but the screams and shouting of these, they're slaves that have been kind of captured and are kept inside and are all going mad from this abyssal plague known as the Savage Tide. It's just a straight -2 circumstance penalty to all perception checks. I know Bees, I think, had suggested, there's precedent for it being just listening, but it felt weird to kind of differentiate, because even for perception for initiative, that it's using your senses to kind of get a jump on things. And a distraction like screaming would absolutely, that's distracts you. I'm okay with that. Make you a little slow to act. There is, I was doing this last night and this was frustrating me. Essentially, at the beach, let me see here. At the beach where you land, the players land, right over here. Okay? Right around this area is the shadow pearl that unleashes this savage tide. And I kind of wanted the players to find that as a, like, okay, something hinky is up. Later on, the pirate captain Harless Javel tells them about it. So you don't necessarily need to find it. What I wrote here is that if you're searching it, you discover it. You just find it, it's there. I might go back and change it. Like I said, it's not super necessary for the story. It could be neat to find. The way it worked in the module was that the players would then search the area and be like, all right, cool, we found all this treasure. And then the GM would be like, by the way, did you want to search this specific area? Which, if you played in 3.5 or 3rd edition and ran a lot of modules, if you're anything like me, you might have said stuff like that. Hey, it's Tomb Raider. Yeah, I've had you on the stream before. I forgot that it's still Father's Day, so you're still doing the daddy bit, which, you know what? I'm not going to stop you, by all means. All right, let me just find the ban permanently button. Where is that? Banned from life and reality. What was I saying? Yeah, but like these old 3.5 modules would say, like, if the players search directly under the bed, they will find, and then make a perception, or a spot check, or a search check. I forgot it was a search check. Then they will find this. And it was like these hoops you'd have to jump through. But it was also when treasure could get out of control safely in 3.5. So, you know, when you have expected wealth for characters and you sort of hide their treasure behind so many hoops to jump through, in Pathfinder it doesn't really work. So a lot of things I'm going back and saying, like, if they're searching, they find this. Easy peasy. And it's behind here. Instead of, if they search behind here, make a perception check, and then they get this treasure. Which is just, it's unnecessary. It's more than it needs to be. Oh, I forgot that I muted. Sorry. I muted my wife a while back. Because I love her to death. I said, I'm going to be doing some streaming. You know, and she's like, yep, that's awesome, very cool. And she sent like a million messages all at once. We have great big news in our family, which is excellent. I'll talk about it later, but let me get through some of this stuff. Okay, one other weird thing, and I might just omit it entirely. I'm gonna zoom in on this because it's weird. See this little bridge here, this little rickety bridge. They decided, in order to cross that, it's slippery. You're going to have to make a balance check to get across. Back when balance was a skill instead. Yeah, hold on. Oh, just very important. Sorry. I hate dead air, and yet here I am. Well, all right, I'll get this out, and then I'll just talk about what I'm doing in life. You have to balance across this to get across. Okay, and then this was back with 3.5. If you didn't balance, you'd fall into the water, and then you have to swim, which isn't really a problem in Pathfinder. But in 3.5, you might be wearing heavy armor, and you have a -8 to swim checks, and it suddenly becomes a drowning problem. And it's an actual hazard getting across this without taking off your armor, lugging it across, and it's unnecessary. And it's something where I'm just like, this here has no reason to really exist to balance across this bridge. Because you have to critically fail to fall prone, I believe. Let me just check that out real fast. You fall and your turn ends. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Synergy, I think, came in Pathfinder 1st edition. Or it might have been 3.5. But yeah, there was some frustrating... Oh my god, there were some very frustrating things. That if you really knew the system, you could abuse it. If you didn't, it was just, like, unnecessary. Checking on... Shouldn't have muted my wife. Anyway, so it just seems like we could probably very easily eliminate this part and nothing changes. Okay. That's where we're at. And so today, the few things we got to do, we have a section. Let's zoom back out here. Okay. We have a section here that I talked about. This is Harless Javel. We have to talk to her. And the way it's handled in the module is one person makes a diplomacy check. Now, everybody can give them bonuses, for instance. If you heal her, you get a +8 to the diplomacy check. Everyone can make aids to get, everyone makes a DC 10 diplomacy to give a +2 to this check. This was lawless. This is a ruleless land, This is insane. With a DC of 40 to make her helpful, you may notice it uses all the same language that we still have. Hostile, unfriendly, indifferent, friendly, helpful. But we have codified rules for that in Pathfinder. So that if we want to do this, we should use the rules we have. But that ends up being not an interesting portion of the adventure. So what I want to do is do an influence subsection. Yay! So what the players can then talk to and take rounds, so it's not one person making one singular roll and going, did we learn all this stuff? Did we get the best outcome? Instead, we get to have like an interaction with everybody at the table. So we're going to make an influence subsection with Harless Javel. And the other thing is we've got some NPCs to make, a few of them. We have the Jade Ravens Mercenaries, which show up as like, I mentioned it on the other stream, like secret characters you can unlock throughout this the final dungeon. And a few NPC bullywugs that are going to be our opponents. And again, this feels like a video game in that like there are different levels to the dungeon, and if you go here and you fight this mini boss, you get the sorceress. And if you go here and you find the ranger, the druid hiding, he gets to help you out. And if you go here, you get dogs to help you out. Weird. But real quick, I was going to say why I am constantly now like making sure that my wife is not freaking out. So I've been going through a legal battle. I cannot talk much about it with a previous employer, unfortunately. But we won. We got our settlement, and the money is healthy. I, again, can't talk too much about it. Healthy enough that we're going to be coming to visit America for Christmas. So first time I've seen my family first time I've seen my father in about 7 years, which is impressive. And I get to show him my son and my wife, people he has not met. And my wife is, of course, very excited. I said, well, what's the one food you want to eat in America? She's like, tacos. I'm like, it's Mexican food, Spanish food. It's, yep, tacos. We're going to tacos, burritos. And I was like, I'm putting in a vote for some Greek food. And I do want to see her eat, like, American-style Japanese food and just watch her face crumble. We did that in Guam, and she was like, oh, sushi. Oh, that's disgusting. Like, well, how do you eat that? I'm like, well, it was a good thing when I had it growing up. So, anyway. So we're coming to America in a few months, and we are not navigating. We've done this before in the past. It's just always a pain. She has to get an online security stuff, and our son has to get it. We're checking our passports. We're doing all this stuff 6 months ahead of time. Crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's. There we go. And on top of that, I got 2 new jobs, which is strange, which means that my schedule is going to be changing, which means that the stream schedule will change eventually. Kind of working that out still. Yeah, it makes me cross eyes too. Yeah, I mean, going from the $3 for a root canal to whatever may be happening in Japan or in America. What was I say? Yes. So I got a nice normal full-time job. I'm very excited about that, and in something that I know how to do. So great. Hopefully, I believe we'll be doing some managerial stuff. I love when people put me in charge of things, because it shows me they have no understanding of how anything should work. Because I should not be in a position of authority, and yet, the people that I'm always managing, I'm like, well, I'm glad you guys chose me, because these guys, I don't know what you're doing with them. But speaking of why I shouldn't be put in a position of authority, I said I got 2 jobs. This weekend, I took my son out to a kids park, like an indoor play place for kids, and the owner was there at the time, and he ran right up to me, and it happens all the time. Like, I'm the foreign guy in Japan, and he was, "Whoa, what a cool guy you are!" Shake my hand. I love cool guys like you. Well, look at this cool guy. I'm like, that's me. I'm the cool guy. Let me just hide my Spider-Man shirt a little bit more. I'm the cool guy. And he said, anything you like coming here, you come anytime. We love having foreigners, which is, again, a weird feeling. Playing with my son, and I'm doing some juggling tricks for him. Because, I used to work in a circus, and the owner runs right out again. He goes, "Whoa, do you know how to juggle?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm a juggler. Like I said, I worked in a circus." And he's like, "Oh, you want to come here and juggle for us sometime?" He goes, "I'm looking for a circus performer / English teacher," which I think he made up on the spot. So I will be doing some work for a children's play place. I will be doing some juggling. This is the life that I live, where just strange things happen and I accept it. Yeah, pretty common job posting. He's like, he said, "Yeah, write me a proposal and we'll talk money." Okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. I'll train up an army of people so I don't have to do this and you just pay me. How's that? I don't know if there's some sort of magical force in the universe that just surrounds me to give me the strangest things to happen. But here we are. It's never anything awesome. It's never some guy decided to give me a book deal for nothing. I don't know. It's always some incredibly weird situation. You're going to hang out with Yakuza and drink them under the table tonight. Oh, all right. Well, it is Wednesday. All right. So that's all good. That's life in Azzurland right now. All right. It feels a little less exciting to suddenly then go into conversion stuff. Also, I feel weird saying conversion because I always feel like I'm advertising for the worst thing. Hey guys, I'm going to do a conversion stream. Watch me take something that someone is A-okay with and normal, and then I'm just going to take it and turn it into something abnormal. No, I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. What I'm going to do, Harless Javel, influence, I'll call it subsystem. The system already exists. Minigame. Thing. There you go. Perfect. All right. And just so I don't forget it, I'm already going to move it into my Savage Tide section. Just so I don't forget it. Okay. So, anybody show of hands who's read some adventures before and have seen the influence subsections or subsystem? Because if you haven't, it's very, very simple. You may already be able to guess how it works. I know Kingmaker's got it right there in the beginning. Strength of Thousands has a very well-known one that's quite good. Trying to think of other. It's gotten more popular as of late. They kind of just you can very easily plug it into any adventure, and there you go. It's their non-combat, skill scenario, which is interesting. Actually, I don't think it's so. Here's what it is. Essentially, you get a number of rounds to talk with and learn about an NPC. And then as you talk with them and learn about them, you can try and influence them to shift them towards your side, your cause. Now, how that applies here is that Harless Javel hates Vanthus. He came in, he's killed off our men with the Savage Tide, oopsie poopsies, and then he tried to steal all of her money and stuff. Really terrible guy. So she sent her first mate to go kill Vanthus, but oops, messed up. It's just going to go kill his sister and like the player's employer and everyone in her house. So what you have to do is talk to her and be like, hey, we need to get information to figure out what exactly happened here. And first off, this is the DC. This hostile is not. That's gone. We're not putting in. The players then have to fight a level 13 character at level 3. That's ridiculous. I don't care if it makes sense that the players could upset her enough that she just murders them because she's a pirate. We'll take that out. Unfriendly, essentially. Don't get involved. I'm not going to tell you anything. Indifferent. Yep. Pretty much the same. Friendly. Oh, hey. Wow. Dang. My bad. I'm probably going to kill everybody there. You should... I'll tell him to hold off on the attack. But he's not really gonna. Still doesn't, like... We're like, nothing's changed. I'm not going to help you. To, boy, that sucks. I'm not going to help you. To, friendly. Oh, boy, I better help you. But really, this is not going to help you. To finally helpful. Oh my god, she gives you an earring. Goes, okay, this is the signal. Give this to my first mate, and he'll know to stop the attack. So we can do something better here. How that's going to work is influence points. As you gain points through certain skills with Harless, you'll unlock information that she gives out. So what we want to do, influence thresholds. One of the first things I want to do is kind of decide on what sort of information she's giving out and what she's going to do for the players. Here's a good example of a stat block. This is Danfy Moleweather, a busy practical man, gives the players 45 minutes, 3 rounds to make their case. This is where I like this because we get in stuff like... I'm going to look up some of these... No? Come on. There we go. We can get some of these skill checks that'll help us out here. So look, a minute of the conversation. Well, let's look up actual skill checks here. Boop. I want players to utilize these skill checks, these skill feats that get forgotten all the time. Group impression, not going to help us here. Hobnobber? No, that's gather information. Discreet inquiry, encouraging words, no. Say, glad hand, here we go. Make an impression on another creature rather than need to converse for a minute. See, a lot of these skill feats don't get utilized properly in adventures. And this still isn't. This is why I want to make skill feats for Thursday. To utilize some of these actually, like, in actionable ways, making skill feats that can be used. Because Glad Hand, for instance, I'm going to make make an impression, but I'm just going to do it in a minute. I'm going to do it in, let's see, immediately. Yeah, make a check with a -5. I don't know. Anyway, maybe we won't get to actually engage with much of this stuff. All right, as I was saying, this did go here. Okay, so here are things to influence him. These are the skills that'll actually give you the influence points. This is, Glad Hand. It came out at launch, and I feel like when we see the remaster, we may see a lot of those skill feats either get consolidated into something or more accurately written, or more like written with the system and how it plays now in mind, rather than how it would play before release, the intended way, so to speak. Because as a game designer, you go in with an idea of how your game is going to be played, and then the players get a hold of it, and they may this system that you really like and you think is a very good idea may hit players, and they'll just go, "Oh, we're not going to engage with that." And a lot of those non-combat feats, players don't engage with, which is a shame. And it's not like non-combat feats, non-combat skill feats, like how people still take them, but some of them are so niche that the opportunity cost of not getting a better feat, like Underwater Marauder, is a really cool skill feat that would be very useful in very niche situations. But would you rather have that or Titan Wrestler, which is going to let you grapple things that are larger than you, which is going to come up much more often throughout a campaign? If you're playing an Undersea campaign, well then Underwater Marauder becomes a must pick, which makes you ask the question of, like, why make me pick it? Anyway, I'm getting off topic for skill feats. I love skill feats. I just think that we might be seeing them change with the remaster. Some of them. All right. So I want to set up 4 levels of information that Harless gives out. This is sort of going to be brainstorming, and then we're going to put it all together later. I might clean it up. We'll see how much time we've got. 4 hours for a stream. I couldn't just talk about random stuff for 4 hours, could I? Yeah, I could. I'm going to say, these are all placeholder things, but these are going to be the levels, okay? Influence 6. Influence 8. All right. Now, that's going to change time in rounds. I'm going to keep 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes before Harless is all like, dang, yo, I gotta get to getting. All right, there we go. Clearly, that's how the pirate talks. Dang you, I gotta get to getting. Essentially, she's got to get out of there. She's got to report to her superiors in the Scarlet Brotherhood. So we'll put a time limit on it, which should be, I put time in rounds and then wrote it in minutes. 3 rounds. 3 rounds gives the players of a 4-person team 12 chances to get influence. If all 12 succeed, they get 12 influence. That feels like a nice area to play with. Okay. All right. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Because now we're 50%. They have the potential to get 50% more influence than they need, as well as using that time to, and again, if you haven't seen the influence, use this discover action to learn things, which is pretty key. Because you go in and you start talking to someone and you just go, I'd like to influence them. Then you say, sure, what skill would you like to use to influence them? And you go, well, you look at your list, you go, all right, my highest skill is occultism. Boom. So I say, have you ever seen the way that the signs point inward to trap demons? And the pirate looks back at you and goes, what the hell are you talking about? I don't care. But I rolled a 20. Yeah, but she doesn't care about that. So Discover allows you to figure out which DCs will work. I shouldn't say that. There we go. It lets you to learn the lowest DCs or, personal biases. I believe that the GM will give out. These are the skills you can use. Okay? Make sure. I'm going to make sure. Influence skills. Skill isn't listed, but a player gives a strong narrative. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, I would say a GM gives that out. I give them out in Pathfinder Society games. I say very, very blank, straight. These are the skills you can use. But I always add, and I think Even for Pathfinder Society, this is very important to do. If a skill is not listed, but a player gives a strong narrative explanation for using it, they can also do that. Typically, I do make that like a hard or a very hard DC, depending. I think that some of my Pathfinder players, I'm trying to think who... Tomb, in chat, can I use thievery to help make this man feel better? Or, I think it was Tawdry Monster, who's like, I'll scare them with my craft check to make a ghost, like a Scooby-Doo villain. You sons of bitches. I'd like to steal their heart with my words, and also my hand, and this knife. Alright. So, alright. What do we want Harless Javel to say? This that the module gives us is not great. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you. Dang, I'm really sorry to hear that, but I'm not going to help you. I'll help you, but not really. And finally, yeah, oh my god, I need to help you guys. That is it just goes straight up. Ta-da, got the success. No. But we will start there, because that's the one thing I want to keep. Okay? It's going to be our Influence 8. Harless sends PCs with a note to her. This is all just note-taking, and I'll clean it later, to her first mate, along with her earring that proves its veracity. Now, that's the end result we want. But if this is the end result that we want, what do these do? Like, see, here's the thing. If the players get 0 influence, I'm just going to put this just for myself. This does not make it into the final at all, but influence of 0, Harless has 0 interest. Whoa. And treats them as enemies, potentially sending Scarlet Brotherhood assassins, killers after them, believing in their connection to Vanthus. Okay? There's our range. Okay? I will send assassins to kill you, and here's my earring. I'm going to stop this whole attack. Oh my god. Now, there is another thing we're doing different from the module, besides just this influence. Alright, I think I'm starting to get something here. It's time-based. The module says, the players really want to get there fast. Anyway, all of this kicks off at the exact time that the players arrive, which is fine. A lot of adventures do that, and I think that's good. But it manufactures reasons for players to make rolls and make decisions that have 0 impact on things, like have the players plot a course through the town to make it back. If the players have made it on to the place on time, like, it's all unnecessary. Here's what I'm going to do. The players do need to get the sea serpent, the sea wyvern, I believe. They need people to crew that, and that doesn't make much sense. What if... So the Sea Wyvern is Harless's one of her pirate ships. I'm curious if our top influence is... She goes, hey, look, this is awful. I cannot be around here. I gotta report all this stuff back. You take the Sea Wyvern. I don't need it anymore. Take it back to Sassarine with you. Here's my earring. Okay? And we give the players a bonus for when they're going to look for time for later. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Take care of the kids. Get some sleep. It's late for you guys. I am still waking up. So, hey. Although my daddy's day is done. Oh, you got it in my brain. My Father's Day is done. Remind me to talk about all-you-can-eat donut buffet, because I'm very sad about that. Have a good night, Tomb. So here's what I'm going to change. I'm going to change this Harless helps the players out with their end result, what they want, making that 6. Okay? Players can get there. I like that. I might bump this up. Like here we go. Like, make this a little bit harder. Make this a little bit harder. And essentially grants them access to the Sea Wyvern. With a not full crew, the ship moves slower, but can get PCs back to Serene quickly, saving time saving time during the final chapter. Cool. We have mechanical benefits to doing this stuff, and not everything needs mechanical benefit, obviously. But I enjoy having it here. I'm curious if I want to take everything to odds. I might. Maybe not the 2. Alright, I'm curious, how much does she explain? Oops. I think she explains that, yeah, I sent my men to go kill. Which should be enough. Okay, here we go. I'll learn that cur, what he is. The Vanderborn's name is so secret to me. Yeah, cross the Crimson Fleet would take everything in your life from you. Best not forget that boil. I do love the way that Harless Javel speaks. I'll learn that cur what it is to follow my business. I know who he is. The Vanderborn name is no secret to me. I know he's got family. Okay, I can do the whole voice. I would have so much fun with that at the table. For sure. Okay. So, if this is R0, the players can totally, botch this and then just sit there insulting her the entire time. Like, we don't work with pirates, then we're going to try and kill you. She'll essentially get you out of here. Harless leaves, but makes no further plans on the lives of the PCs. Or the Vanderborns. Okay. Okay. Influence 5. So, this is our neutral ending, which is... our neutral ending. So, 7 is what we want. We want 7 points. The players get 7 points. And they get the safety. 9 is that bonus. We get the bonus time at the end, which is where I've already started kind of like plotting out what I want that to be, with catching the bullywugs or the boggards off guard when the players arrive. But what do we want 5 to be? Because Harless leaving and making no further plans on the lives of the PCs or the Vanderborns. I mean, what she did originally, Harless writes a note to her first mate, but it doesn't do anything. Like, it feels is a token gesture and does nothing without the earring. So it does feel like if I'm doing this from a mechanical standpoint, the difference between 0 and 2 is there's something there for a GM to play with later, if he is interested. And personally, I think that's very interesting. Probably not going to happen. The difference between 2 and 5, there is none, really. And the difference between 2 and 7 is you get the actual result. So I don't like 5 not having something here. I'm going to say that this gives a item bonus to charisma checks to influence her first mate. Okay? So they get this note, and he may say, like, without the ring or without the earring, I'm not trusting it. But it puts a seed of doubt in his mind that when combat does break out, they could potentially, depending on the GM, they could talk the guy down, or even help out with those demoralized checks. So they're like, seriously, we're on your side. He's like, oh, I'm frightened all of a sudden. Oops. Or those bon mots, you idiot, you don't believe the note. Ha-ha, shoom, swashbuckle. All right. Okay, I like that. I like that. And I like that we get to put the sea wyvern in. I will. This does mean I'm going to write this down. See, I have to eventually make sea wyvern stats, which is the ship, and making vehicles is a pain in the ass. Actually, it shouldn't be. I feel like I could just look up like Caravel and then just sort of like map things out onto it, and that probably might be what I do. But I do want to make it a little more. By the way, here's my notes. I drew little pictures of frogmen and one of the jade ravens that we saw. So woohoo! I take good notes. Oh God! Oh no! Oh! Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta pause the stream for a second. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Just a minute. Sorry. Da 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 da. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. There was a there was a small problem with some of the paperwork that we are filling out. Oop, there we go. Filling out for our trip to America. Oh my goodness. And my wife got very upset about it. And yeah, it's not a problem that I made. It's a problem that another website made. And it's a long. If you are a foreigner living in another country, if you are living in another country and trying to get to America, it's a real pain. There's a lot of traps and pitfalls out there. Oh my God! And we hit one yesterday, and it has caused some problems. Yay! All right. Yes. Also, Pizza. So nice to see you. Pizza's been around on the server since the very, very, very beginning, and I feel like I have had like a singular game with him, her, they. I don't know exactly, and yeah, I'm so glad to see you. Him. There we go. I shouldn't be going around asking pronouns and genders and all that. Yeah, if feels good. I do enjoy that. I will come back to that later. All right. So, what we have now are looking at some of these other things here. Perception will, blah, blah, blah. These are easy. Plug in the numbers from... Now I'm checking my messages. My wife is very upset. Plugging in the numbers for on-level things. Now, Discovery. Things to learn about her. So what we want to do is, how are we going to learn her weaknesses? Just make this discovery. Woo. Weaknesses. Resistances. What else we got? Background appearance, personality, penalty. Sure. I'm alright. Background appearance. We can probably leave a lot of those alone for a while, but penalty. And the big one, the influence skills. Here we go. This is what I want to get. Discovery. So, first thing, how are we going to learn about her? Society feels like an easy one. Pirate lore or Sassarine lore. These are things that our players should have, actually, given backgrounds that are going to be supplied to players or recommended to players. What's another one? Let's look at what's kind of in here. Mercantile lore, perception, society, all basic. Perception. Yeah, I mean, obviously a sense motive is really makes the most sense for discovery. I essentially hit the same discoveries as the example given. Do I want to do anything else there? No. Let me see here. Let's looking at our skills real fast. Nature, yeah. Vision, society, stuff, intimidation. No. Yeah, I'm alright with these for discovery. Now, let's go to influence skills. What would influence her? 1. The way I'm going to put these, without looking at DCs, is I'm just going to put on level, easy, hard, very easy, etc. So something like intimidation, I'm going to say, is something very hard to do. She is, 1, much more powerful than the players, much more connected. It could even be impossible. Like, this should penalize you. Like, trying to intimidate a level 13 pirate captain who has, works at the behest of global assassins. Scarlet Brotherhood, are they global assassins? Scarlet Brotherhood, Greyhawk. Valuing the secretive organization that rules the land. Yeah, they are monks. Man. Secretive monks. Kind of, Anyway, she works for the Scarlet Brotherhood. Yeah, organization of monks that wear red and gold, fighting barehanded. They're interesting. Entire nations fell to that order of assassins. They have assassins there. Yeah, here we go. Oh, and here. Oh, look, we even get our little Savage Tide little nod here that they took hold of the Sea Princes. They even got hold of let's see. It's taken by using a horde of savages from the Amida jungle. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. It's getting into weird territory. Okay. Sorry about that one. All right. So, intimidation is not going to be the way to go with this woman. However, proving you're strong, athletics, I'm going to say, proving that you're right for the job. Normal for athletics. Sailing lore, pirate lore. Can I spell today? Sorry, my wife is in a very, very bad mood. Oh, no. Alright. This is a damper on the whole thing. Oh. I don't want to pause the stream again just to go make sure she's okay, but I feel like I should. Alright. So, their lures should be easier. generally that's the more specific lore, the more specific understanding of something should make those DCs easier. Taking a look at some of these other ones. Crafting, deception. Yeah, I'd say deception. Maybe make that hard and be okay with that. Deception, hard. Oh, that's not what I put that away. I don't need that anymore. Stealth, survival. I mean, I definitely want to give all players, whatever your class, whatever where your character leans, I'd like to give everyone a chance. Performance. I don't know that she's not exactly a fun person. I guess she is fun in a certain way. Survival, thievery, performance. These are all just ideas. I'm just going to toss it in. Performance, survival, thievery. All right. Essentially, showing off that she's like, oh, you guys probably couldn't even survive in the jungles out here. I could see survival being kind of useful. Normal. Thievery, you're on the up and up. You're with them. Performance, I would say is maybe a hard one. Okay. And thievery, yeah, normal. Now, given that the players are going to be level 3. Oh, sorry. That's not what I want. DCs by level. Here we go. So we're shooting at around 18, a DC 18 for these things. So something like normal would be DC 18. Sailing lore with easy and pirate lore, these sort of lores, DC 16. And if it's super, super specific, I mean, I don't know that a player would for some reason pick up something like Harless Javel lore, or Pirate Captain lore, or something. Make that very easy. That would go down to like a DC 13. But that's up for GMs to kind of arbitrate. So yeah, if you know, what's funny is I can never find where these are anymore. Maybe it's actually here, and I'm going to look like an idiot. Yeah, it probably is here. Yeah, here we are. Here's the adjustments. So hard, easy, very easy, incredibly hard. I typically don't hit these incredibly hards, incredibly easy anymore because it goes back to the why roll if it's already a done deal sort of thing. It's like -10. Why is your character rolling? They should be able to do that, with the exception of making players look good, or it's a skill in which everybody in the party is going to have to attempt, and people that have 0 training in it and you're higher level could potentially have some hold the party back. Then an incredibly easy climbing up a rock wall with handholds, and that level 5 wizard still has a -1 to their check. So make it incredibly easy. Likewise, incredibly hard, should only exist if it's one character has to do it, and that character had better damn well be a specialist. And I think a lot of thievery checks for picking locks are kind of placed in this way. It also means that this rarity tag comes into play, usually for recall knowledge stuff. But we'll put that aside. Okay. So, DC 18. DC 18. What did I put? DC 18? Oh, that's why. I don't know why. I do know why. All right. So these looks like some pretty fine, and we could adjust by 1 or 2 if we feel like something should be harder or easier. Resistances. I want to make sure, obviously a penalty. Trying to intimidate her should be a huge penalty. Something like this is brutal. That you immediately lose out on the chance of a full round. And the penalty should be something really severe. You know what I'm going to say? Attempting to intimidate or otherwise threaten Harless Javel, instead has her treat the threatening PC as a what's the word? As an opponent, as a victim. What's the word I'm looking for? As an enemy. They can no longer influence Heartless. Okay, that PC can no longer influence Heartless. Okay, though they can still discover. Okay, later, Heartless may send killers after the PC. There. After that PC. Want to specify. She is going to be coming back into the story. Heartless does exist. I forget in what capacity, but I know that she as a enemy. Good job, me. Okay. All right. All right. Weaknesses. So weaknesses. Yeah. All right. This is using something that kind of makes them. One, it's going to make the DCs easier, and it's going to make an inroad for the character. You know what? Expressing a disdain. This is express a disdain for Vanthus, or even a murderous desire. Gain a +2 circumstance bonus to their next skill check. To influence Heartless. This this effect can only be used once per PC. Easy. Okay, so you're like, yeah, oh man, I want to kill Vanthus too. This is the wrong way to do it. Okay, well there you get a little bonus. I'm okay with that. That seems alright. Let's look at resistances. Appeals to sympathy alone. Yeah. Increase, or I should probably, I wonder if I should, instead of making this a +2, like a bonus, should be, I'm going to just note here, should we make this a DC reduction? I might want to look at other influence sections and see how they're handled. All right. Resistances. Whoa, there we are. All right. What's something that would not get her? Maybe PCs just talk about non-violent approaches. Really only upset her. Really only upset Heartless further, increasing DCs by 2. Okay, and it's for those, for that PC. All right, background, appearance, personality, that's all stuff to fill in later and also comes directly from the text. So that's not a problem there. In which case, we have, perception will discover, yes. I should probably put in the discovery DCs. Pirate lore, Sassarine lore, yeah. DC 13. Perception. DC 16. Make it easy. I would like to make I like making the discovery checks a bit easier to encourage players to figure out what they're doing. Yeah. All right. I think we've got an influence system here. Now, I'll go back and clean it up and put it in here all nice and pretty. And then, of course, when we do the PDF, even prettier. All right, I need to use the bathroom real fast. I'm going to mute things, and I will be right back. All right, there we go. So we've got our influence. We've got our influence section for Heartless Javel. And that was one of the big things I wanted to get done today. Let me check that off. Nice. All right. Now, the other thing that we are working on. So, players now, I'm trying not to get lost in the weeds of verisimilitude and all of that stuff that 3.5 did. And this is me thinking to add something that probably doesn't need to exist, which is getting back to Sasserine after this conversation. It literally just says, anyway, they go back, which is fine. And I don't think, I mean, as a GM, this is like 6 days of travel for players, or I guess 1 if they've got a ship. So it feels weird to gloss over it, but also it sort of should be glossed over. It now becomes, it is the exciting part. Oh my god, we have to race back there. We arrive in time for this festival. And then the boring part is then like, and then we camp for a night and blah, blah, blah. You want to gloss over that as a GM. So I don't think that I should go that 3.5 route and say like, here's how you get back. It's not interesting. Maybe a little note, because this literally just does. Yeah, here they are. They're back. We'll never make it. We made it, to quote Flight of the Conchords there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would like to maybe at least put a little like note of like, and then they'll with the Sea Werven, they'll make excellent time, blah, 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 blah. All right. One thing I'd like to do here, and I'm not going to do it on the stream, I think, because I'm going to just the far-reaching implications of this idea. And I mentioned on the previous stream. The Wormfall Festival is really fun and interesting. It's a fantastic set piece, but it doesn't do anything. So they say, oh, we have to get back to the Vanderboren family. Oh my god, there's what's going on is a giant festival that's slowing us down. And then you have 3 set pieces. One is a gnome drunkenly berating the players, trying to goad them into a fight. Fine. Rewrite that because it obviously just needs to get rewritten in terms of like Pathfinder rules and what that would mean. And we likely don't want to. I don't know. This just feels odd. And then a parade float gets out of control and crashes into a tavern, making an explosion, I believe. Everything explodes. Yes. Making a tremendous explosion, sending furniture, dishware, and patrons. And then finally, the players get attacked by a bunch of assassins, which that is a really cool encounter. But the thing is, these things happening do not all delay what the bullywugs are doing, or it doesn't give the players any advantage if they avoid it. Oh my god, that this thing's out of control. We could save the lives of people. No, we can't. We have to get back to the Vanderboren Manor. I'd kind of like to reward those decisions. So what I'm going to do is design out an hour system, or like minutes or what have you. Probably hours. That the players can navigate a way through Sasserine lore or society lore, or even perception or society lore or society skill. Navigate a way to the Vanderboren Manor that's fast, saves them some time. With essentially being a very large section, being however many hours it takes you to get there, nothing changes. With a small bit, if you get there early, you get the jump on the bullywugs, and they're going to be at a disadvantage with, they'll get like a penalty to their perception checks to initiative. And then another section, if the players are really slow in getting there, more rooms are going to have like difficult terrain that they've swampified, so to speak. Yeah. But as that has far-reaching implications, and that's like a lot of math to do, I'm going to save that for off-stream, for I'm just got time to sit down and play with it. I'm going to pat myself on the back here, because what we did on stream last time was a lot of fun. We've got Stiltwalkers. And Stiltwalkers don't have anything interesting to them. They're mooks, but they've got stilts on, and essentially they're just juggling the entire time and throwing daggers and bombs at people, which is fun for me. And their only real advantage is that they essentially are constantly have all of their items in their hands, which means anything goes on their turns. It's nothing super powerful, but it makes them memorable characters. And they have stilts, which I've mentioned. I did not make stats or item rules for them yet. Allows them to avoid the difficult terrain of the crowd beneath them, and that's it. And also makes them very easy to push over. We're just gonna reduce their fortitude, already by 4 or something like that, like something massive, to being shoved or tripped. So next, what was her name? Oh, I forgot her name. Where is she? Diamondback. I'm proud of this one, and there might still be some changes coming to her. She is also an assassin, hired to kill the players. She was a battle dancer from, I forget what book it was. Or was it even a book? Got her stats right here. Dragon Compendium. So it was actually from the Dragon magazines. So, here we go. And it's like a bard monk. We had flurry of blows and some weird bard abilities. So what we did, we kind of just took that and we gave her Dance of Reckless Bravery. For the duration, all allies that can see her get a +1 status bonus to attack and damage. And if she avoids avoids an attack using Battle Dancer, which allows her to re-roll her armor class using her performance check, which is much lower than her armor class, so risk-reward sort of thing there, then the duration gets extended. So that's a kind of a fun... I like this mechanic in terms of, she can kind of dance into a critical hit from herself. She can dance into a critical hit, but she's encouraged to do so to keep up action economy with Dance of Reckless Bravery, agile attacks, punching people with a fist of her flurry of blows. Yeah, I'm okay with all that. She might eventually get some magic items as well, but that's much later. Not even, in-game, possessions, Ring of Protection, Skeletal Leotard, and Earrings. So, and her artwork again, real cool, like her right over here. That's done. Now, what I'd like to do with the rest of the stream, assuming everything goes well, we're doing good on time. Okay, we've got a bunch of bullywugs, and what bullywugs are boggards in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, frog people. And they were hired by Harless Javel's first mate in order to kill Vanthus, but in reality go off and kill Lavinia, the player's patron. Whew. So they've taken over the manor, they've filled it up, and what we've done is we've remade all of the encounters with Pathfinder, or with 2nd Edition creatures. Boggards be full. This is weird 3.5 stuff. Boggard Warriors, Boggard Scouts. We've got a Boggard Swamp Seers. If you've played through the Slithering Pizza, you're very familiar with this kind of layout of just using the Boggards to, trip up and slow the players as they go through. I was playing around with the idea of just sitting down and making some more different kinds of Boggards, but I don't think that we really need to do that. However, what we do need to do is make a number of named Boggards. We've got Chief Lorth, who is actually kind of like our secret boss, who's leading the Boggards, and is guarding. Is holding one of the Jade Ravens, Lavinia's mercenary team, in the basement. I believe he's in the basement. Then we've got Buagorg, who is the chief's shaman. I believe she's just a shaman, or they are just a shaman. I forget exactly what they are. Who's going to be kind of the end boss, so they've got to be kind of tough. And finally, we have got Lorblorb Tub, the chieftain's consort, who is a barbarian kind of. She's smoking cigars. I said an aura of cigar smoke, but I'm not sure how much I like that, because I don't like attaching innate abilities to items that they happen to have at the time. It just feels weird. Anyway. Okay. So, and finally, the thing that I want to do, I've got it here, is put together the Jade Ravens stat blocks, because we're going to be seeing more of them, and we'll get the opportunity to actually use them in combat in this adventure. And they're going to be showing up a bunch, mostly as background characters. But it'd be nice to, at least if we have them at these level 3, level 4 builds, that a GM could take it and go, okay, I can extrapolate from here and put them at this level because my players want to interact with them. Much like essentially what Strength of Thousands does with Doormates. They don't give them stats, but they give enough. Conceal with Cigars. Yeah, I see, that's the thing. I really like the idea of her. Like, I said cigars, and immediately I kind of thought, like, ooh, she could just blow out like a big gust, like like an obscuring mist spell with the cigars. But I also hate the idea of, like, this is my character and this is my item, and because I have this item and I can do this ability, I guess I should say. What I'd rather have is, say, like, a note after her where it's like, Lub, what is her name? Lub Tub? Lorb Tub? Oh, I've already forgotten her name. Where is it? Right here. Here we go. Lorb Tub, takes an action and breathes out a 20-foot emanation of concealing smoke. I mean, I like that more than baking it into her stat block. But that might just be me being persnickety or finicky or what have you. But let's just get started. Let's start with Lorb Tub. Let's look at her stats here in the adventure, and then we'll pull up in our monster tool. So here's Huntress Lorb Tub. 3.5. She is a level 2 barbarian, level 3 ranger. And in 3.5 stats, I believe those two go together just fine enough that it's not bad. Matter of fact, pretty good. She goes into a rage. She gets all that bonus damage while she is not flurrying, but she was 2-weapon style, I believe. Yeah, 2-weapon fighting. So that's a fun build. Endurance track, 2-weapon defense. So, yeah, what we want to do, let's keep that 2-weapon thought process before we start putting down numbers. We want to keep that 2-weapon fighting. We want to keep that she's an angry, rage-filled, boom, big hits. Just absolutely, she should be the scary, devastating one in the room. I had written down Aura of Sickened. Let me see here. Was there any reason for me writing that? Or just the idea? There's slime, drooling, smell, puff before ordering the hunters to smack. I'm not sure I have a reason for giving her an aura that sickens people. Because I like the idea of her being this maybe very mobile fighter. Uncanny dodge. Is there anything that I feel like we really got to nail with her? Let's get a unnamed. Here we go. Huntress Lorb Tub. Okay. And I also have written down what I wanted her to be. I wanted her to be... so this is a moderate 4 encounter, is what I wanted. 3 Boggart scouts. Let's look up Boggart family. All right, we got the Boggart scouts, level 1. This should be so we're talking level 4 for the players. Building encounters. All right, so those level -3, we've got 3, 15 experience. It's 45 experience. We want to get that up to moderate. 80. Okay, so 35 more experience to go. Essentially 40. So the huntress here will be level 4 is what we're going for. Whoa, hello. Whoa. 4. Not that, alignments are going the way of the dinosaurs. Again, I fell into that habit of saying the same things over and over again. I hate doing that. Chaotic evil, medium, humanoid. Anything else? Whoa. Alright. Boggards are amphibious, boggard, humanoid. Cool. I'm going to actually take this off for the reason of I want everything to be right. Amphibious, boggard, humanoid. There we go. So if I have the type as humanoid, it'll keep it before amphibious and boggard, and that's not alphabetical order. All right. So her roadmap here is a brute. Okay, big, strong, knocking people around. Despite the fact that she is got the range with 2-weapon fighting, I want her to be more barbarian. Yeah. Ooh, it's gotten chilly in the room. Nice remote-controlled air conditioner. Everything's remote-controlled in Japan. All right. Don't worry about these. Anything about her in particular? Is she a dum-dum? Oh, no. Look at these. Look at these poor mental skills. I'm okay with keeping them fairly low. We'll put the wisdom to 0. We'll give her a... Well, it's stuff to keep in Pathfindery. You can't just... how to put it? So 3.5 was definitely like, we're going to keep everything at this baseline. You can't really go too far above things until you start breaking stuff in half. So, looking at her stats, what her highest stat here is, a Constitution of 20. Oh, that's an interesting way to go with it. I'm curious if we can just kind of keep that. Let's go with a... these don't mean anything. I keep saying it, even on stream. These don't mean anything, so why am I worrying about it? I don't know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So thinking of abilities, I want to give her, that classic double strike. What's it called? Hunter's Edge. But we'll give her a classic double strike, which could very well be. No, not like Flurry. I was going to say, like Flurry. But no, a 1 action to attack twice with map. I don't like that. The 2 action or 1 action to attack twice. A 2 action to attack without map is much more in line with sort of this feeling that I want with her. I want the big, heavy, boom. See, being a member fight, big, scary, mostly just a sack of HP, yeah. And hard to see. Yeah, there is that other thing of, concealment or, what's the other? Fully hidden. These are really, really good effects to have on creatures with low hit points, like ghosts, will-o-wisps, sort of these things, so that when you do land that hit, you're like, yes! All right, it really only needs 2 of those, but boy, I got to get the other one. So I have a story, and it's 3.5. It wasn't Savage Tide I was playing. It was actually Age of Worms, and my buddy Joel, who I've mentioned on stream before, as the guy who made so many characters that died so many times in Age of Worms. So Joel, his character, pitches. He goes, "Okay, ready for this? He is a druid monk, all right, and he's blind. So level 1, I'm going to be druid. Level 2, I'm going to be monk, and I'm going to be a blind monk." I was like, okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. I could get that in the game. And he's like, and because Joel was an edgelord, he's a drow. And he's like, and now I don't have to suffer light blindness because I'm already blind. What a great character I made. And everyone's like, yep, that's just Joel. This will be fine. It's okay. And the first combat they get into was against I forget what it was. It was Age of Worms. It wasn't one of the first combats, but essentially this creature was fairly heavily armored and had a lot of hit points. So the fight for it was beating down this sack of HP. And it's 3.5. There's not like a lot of fun, cool abilities. It just had like sword and hit. So Joel's like, and now for my character's thing to begin, because he talked me into giving him blind fight at level 1. Of course, he's blind. Fine with me. You have blind fight. Sure. And he goes, haha, stupid idiots. And I cast Obscuring Mist. And his party was like, hey man, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, but I can fight really well because I'm already blind. The Obscuring Mist doesn't bother me. Druid Monk, this is the best idea ever. Until the half ogre barbarian that was on their team missed like 2 huge massive attacks against this thing. It was like, Joel, you cannot play this selfishly. Thankfully, Joel's character died very soon after that. Because they all died very quickly, those characters. So, yeah, I think it's a memorable fight of like, man, we can't hit this thing, and she's beating the snot out of us. But I'm like, is it going to be an entertaining fight for the players if they're like, dang, we can't hit this, and when we do, it's like, it's bouncing off her. I think like a one-off. See, I like the cigars. I do. Ability-wise. I'm going to put a pin in the cigars just because I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it. However, I'm kind of curious. I like the idea of her like, she's got like a layer of slime over her that she's been kind of rolling in. Again, that goes back. Yeah, all right. Special abilities. First off, things I know she's going to have. She's going to have that double strike. That it's just 2 mapless attacks. Huntress, Lorb Tub makes 2 melee strikes against. Yeah, 2 melee strikes. What's the wording for this? I know we've got what Hunter. Let's just look up Rangers. I'll know it when I see it. The exact feat I'm thinking. Twin takedown. Is this it? Nope. No. What? Really? Is it not? Is it twin takedown? Is what I'm thinking of? That's not what I. There are so many creatures with this ability, and I cannot think of what it is. Where you get 2 attacks, you don't add map at 2 actions. Oh, no. All of these creatures have it. I honestly was modeling it in my mind off of the Ranger thing. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, you know what I can use? Red Dragons. To look at the wording. For instance, they have their Draconic Frenzy. Oh, see, that's not going to help me either. I want to, the exact wording I'm looking for is map does not increase between attacks. I'm going to look. 2 claw attacks. That's what I'm going to look up. Gouging Claw, Albert Claw. I was hoping that could have gotten me. Haha, let's see. Zelvmorg. No. Spoilers for that one. Does not increase. Let's see. Skeletal Hulk. Here we go. Here we are. Ha-ha! The multiple attack penalty does not increase until after both attacks are resolved. There we go. Haha, cheating my way into things. Just put that here. It makes 2 melee strikes. Is there any other wording that I feel like I need here? Boy, the first run of wording is always very interesting to me. This feels like it's hedged its bets so nicely. The Hulk makes 2 strikes with its claw against 2 adjacent foes, both of whom are within its reach. Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of have to, especially. Okay. Makes 2 on a single target within reach. The multiple attack penalty does not increase until after both attacks are resolved. So I think that can be very brutal. Yeah. I just realized as I'm writing down double slice. Yep. It's this. Yeah, it's this. It's double slice. All right. I'm going to call it something different. Twin blow. I feel like that name is suggestive. We'll get it later. So twin blow. There we go. And she's also going to have a type of rage. Yeah, it sounds a little dicey to be sure. Yeah. All right, here, I'll fix it up. Incestuous. No, wait a minute. All right. I'm calling it double slice again. Paired strike. You know what? I like that one. Paired strike. I like that a lot. And I believe that her weapons are twinned, essentially. She's got, yeah, they're hand axes. Cool. All right. And we got to give her a rage. And I honestly feel like there doesn't have to be anything changed about it. I don't think we need to make it a special rage that only she has. You know, let's look up rage so I get all the traits right. There are traits to rage. Yes. Yeah, I looked up the trait. I looked up the trait itself. Oops, not the action. Class feature, trait, action. Here we go. Concentrate, emotion, mental. Concentrate, emotion, mental. There we go. Trait, emotion, mental. All right. And honestly, actually, I'm curious if I can just copy paste from a creature. What, really? Huh, I really thought we'd have a creature that had rage. All right, well, either way. It's an easy one to write. So we want to give her the -1 to AC, +2 damage with melee strikes. She is already going to be... Oh, all right, quick math. Building creatures. Quick math for damage. Where I want her damage to be at a level 4 creature. I know it's going to recommend it with the monster tool, but I want to look a little more specifically. All right, level 4 creature. We want this to be high damage. Let's also look at hand axes. Oh, is it all one word? Hatchet. Hatchet? All right, hatchet. There we go. So 1d6. Okay, I can work with that. If we want our damage to get to about 14, we'll make them 2d6 damage. So that average right there is 7. Hitting with 2 of them, but we want to use this strike damage at about 1 action per. Should be doing about 14 damage. So we're going to add in our strength bonus of 5. Okay, I'm liking this. So 2d6 plus 5 is the baseline. We'll add in... So 2d6 plus 5, the baseline, that gets us to about 12 damage per strike, per action. Which puts us under that extreme, puts us at... Or under that high and puts us at moderate. I'd like to go a little bit above this. And I think our rage... So I was going to say giving it +1 damage because they're agile weapons. Hatchets are agile, yes? Agile, yeah. But we'll give it +2 damage while she's raging. -1 damage while she is... Or -1 AC. So that brings us to average high damage. And because she's got that paired strike, thank you, bees, she will be able to kind of have more consistent high damage on these. I'm okay with that. That all sounds good to me. All right. Huntress, Lorb, Tub, flies into... It's always flying into a rage. Nobody just gradually walks into a rage. Flies into a simmering, stewing upset. Flies into a rage, gaining a +2 status bonus to damage rolls, and a oh, this is not even status. It is okay. All right, +2, just a +2 damage bonus to a +2 bonus to damage rolls. A -1 penalty to AC for 1 minute. While raging in this way, she cannot take actions with the concentrate trait. Anything else there, really? Okay, cannot take actions except to seek. Yeah, there we go. And I'm sure there's nobody burrows into a rage. You haven't seen a Wolverine. Do Wolverines burrow? I don't actually know. I've never met a Wolverine. Okay, so yeah. Now to make her a little bit more interesting. Oh, do I have that? Take a bonus. It's a Sabonis. It's like a Sbarro. It's where you get it makes it Italian. It's a Sabonis. Oh my. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Has she got anything else to pull from that's interesting? I'm kind of curious if we can use the fact that she can leap on people, like a quick leap, like at the start of combat can leap. If she ends adjacent to somebody, they must make a reflex save or... Wow, actually, that should not be at the start of combat. But can she leap, like ground pound, so to speak, and all adjacent creatures must make a reflex save or fall prone? That's kind of interesting. Very strong. Because her turn would look like this. I leap, boom, knock a guy prone while he's on the ground. I paired strike him. And that's brutal. Is it way too powerful brutal? Or is it uninteresting brutal? And, I mean, it would encourage players to do things like trip her or any other athletic maneuver to kind of get her to not have that leap, trip, or grapple, or what have you. Easy solution. Make the jump slam combo a 2-action. Yeah. That is the easiest solution. So then that she's got essentially 2 separate turns of like, I will jump and slam a dude. Oh yeah, I can rage and then slam and jump, or I could rage and hit, or all of these kind of different things depending on sort of how the battle plays out. That might be the best solution, because I hate. As a player, you love when your turns line up perfectly and you got like 1 action, a 2 action, or this, and it flows. But as a GM, it feels incredibly rude where you're like, and then they do their routine, and it is the optimal routine, and they do it, and you can't do anything about it. I'm trying to think if I have a situation like dragons are the best example of it in terms of their breath weapon is the most optimal thing to do. It's the best, it's the strongest, but it's got the recharge on it, so it doesn't make it. And you have to like position it and... Anyway. Alright. So, Lub Gorb. Yeah, I think making it a 2-action ground slam, body slam. Oh. A full body slam is kind of interesting. Let me see here. Make it 2. I like that. I'll call it a ground slam or earth-shattering slam. That should not be all one word. Gosh, I am drinking way too much water. I heard I have to use the bathroom again. Earth-shattering slam. Well, let's look up the leap real fast before I run off to the bathroom. Leaping power slam. That's way cooler than earth-shattering. Yeah, I like that. Can I all one word that? I mean, yeah, I think I can. No one's going to stop me, but... Leaping power slam. Let's look up leap. We will give it the move trait. Make a careful short jump, blah, 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 blah. I'm wondering if I wonder if I should attach it to athletics, and the athletics result. No, I want the players to. I want the target to make a reflex save. That's what I want. not her just like totally crit it. On a crit, maybe reduce their degree of success by 1. I could see that being the case. All right. I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta use the but I really want to do this. Say move. I shouldn't be looking at leap. I should be looking at long jump. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I shouldn't use it as... I mean, I should use it as long jump, but she doesn't have to move to use it. All right. Hold on. I really should just use the bathroom. I'm just going to put, like, makes a leap, athletics check, crit success, reduce degree of success, reflex save by 1. And essentially making that a... Yeah. We'll do a success is... Oh, I'm getting into some weird territory. I'll use the bathroom real fast. Darn it, there's water. Alrighty, there we go. This is where I cheat when I go in the bathroom. That's me getting time to... There we go. Yeah, I was like, did I unmute? Getting time to really quickly think about stuff. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Huntress, Lorb, Tub. And I like this now because it will have the players kind of thinking about positions a lot more. I want to look at real fast... So she's in room V12. V12 is here. Nice, wide, spread out. I mean, check this out. Look at this. This is going to be an interesting arena to fight in. Players are going to want to spread out. I'm not explaining this idea in my head enough. Makes a long jump attempt. I'll change that wording. Without needing, what's the wording here? To stride. Without needing to stride before the attempt. Definitely changing up those words. When she lands, where she... all right. All adjacent... All creatures. There we go. All creatures adjacent to where she lands must make a reflex save or fall prone. Okay? If Huntress Lorb Tub critically succeeds on her athletics check to long jump, they treat creatures treat the result of their reflex save as 1 degree lower. Okay, so I'm curious to add in like that critical failure of being tripped, so to speak. It is what it is. That's what it is. Which isn't much, but it's something. No, not yeah. There we go. Just the trip action. It's what 1d6. I mean, it seems like unnecessary to add in all of that. Huh. Yeah. Now I'm wondering, like, and now I'm like, is 2 action? It's not bad. I guess where it really comes into play and really looks good is if players are all grouped up. And she's next to them. Doesn't really do any damage as much as it is. Yeah, I'm okay with it. There's technically a difference there. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. Is it just knocking creatures prone? Yeah. I mean, what it is right now is just knocking creatures prone. Because if it is a trip, then it becomes the critical failure sort of situation, and then there is like it would have to be an attack. I mean, it could very well be she makes an athletics check to long jump, treating this as a trip attack as well as when she does it. But that gets a little odd and is powerful. Yeah, I think that would be something too powerful. I think it's just knocking prone, and I don't think it needs to be much further than that. This is probably just fine. Yeah. Hunter makes a this wording is driving me insane. Huntress Lorb Tub makes a long jump attempt without needing to stride before the attempt. Stride beforehand. Woo! Hand. There we go. Without needing to stride beforehand. All creatures adjacent to where she lands must make a... Did I put a comma there? Yeah, I don't know why. Must make a reflex save or fall prone. If Hunter's Lorb critically succeeds on her athletics check to long jump, creatures treat the result of the result of their reflex save as 1 degree lower. So yeah, meaning that if she critically succeeds on that athletics check to boom, jump amongst your group. Oh, I have to. First creatures has an extra R in there. Creature, and I also have to put in an actual saving throw DC. Where my first all creatures. Okay, reflex save a DC 18 is probably still fine. She is level 4. Okay, DC 18 reflex save or fall prone. Boom. Yeah. Leaping power slam. And we are going to put that up above paired strike because alphabetical order. I think that's good. I think now we cover her up with a lot of hit points, not so much armor. And then we give her, what did I say, 2d6 plus 5 damage. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's saying it's moderate. Well, we're going to have the... We're going to have the... Whatchamacallit? Rage. Okay. This is going to be kind of... It will not hate hatchet. So I will go weird with that later. We're going to make it high 2d6 plus 5 slashing, I believe. And they're just agile sweep thrown. Yeah. Cool. Agile sweep thrown 10 feet. Actually, it's always going to make me feel weird kind of getting everything right. Hatchet. There's got to be a creature that uses them. There we go. Cressel. Spoilers. Thrown 10 feet. Now, I never know. I always want to... So I got so particular when I was writing stat blocks in 3.5 and 3rd edition and everything. I always wanted everything to be just perfect. And everything back then, super abbreviated. Every little bit. And it was like reading, Matrix code. You just kind of would look at it and go, okay, I know what this creature does. But looking back, I mean, it's indecipherable. These stat blocks are 3.5 stat blocks and are so much easier to see. Actually, I'm going to see if I can pull up a... I'm going to pull up a... Where? Is this what I've got? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to pull up the Sunless Citadel. One of the first adventures to come out in 3rd edition. Because I think it's interesting. Real fast. If you haven't seen the stat blocks from back then, look at these suckers. All right. Here's our Bugbear, our CR2 medium-sized humanoid. Here's our hit dice, also gone now. Initiative, speed, armor class, attacks, special qualities, alignment. For some reason, it goes from attacks to special qualities to alignment, then to saving throws. Okay. And then just, it doesn't, look at this weird formatting where it just goes from saving throws into ability scores without, I feel like that looks like, this feels like it has to be, that should be a semicolon in the very least. And then here's our skills and feats, all one, done. Our more powerful things get their special attacks, detailed. But you can see why they don't make stat blocks like this anymore. They're incomprehensible. But compact. So then 3.5 comes out, and they give us these nice, easy to read stat blocks. And then there's well, this takes up a lot of page space. So, okay. All right. Well, we've got to figure out a way to do that. Pathfinder essentially went to these, I believe, with maybe some slight tweaks and changes. And now 2nd edition has essentially larger stat blocks as well. Yeah. I mean, still explains all of their abilities without you having to reference other material. But we don't need all of these put into every single book now. So that's good. All right. Sorry, just wanted to go on that little tangent. All right. Lorb. I don't know why we've got spells even... Why are spells coming up at all here? Is it a roadmap that's throwing it off? Maybe remove notes. Let's see. No, did not do it. Didn't change anything, did it? Okay. Why have we got spells? I put a value in. I don't know why. All right, there we go. That's why. All right. Has she got anything else? No, not the boggart. Lord, good tub. She got anything else? She's got her axes, and that's it. Oh yeah, this is very common from the old 3.5. Here's your hand axe. First attack, second attack, third attack. Well, first attack, offhand attack, second attack, because she's got 2-weapon fighting. 2-weapon, yes. All right. Move. All right. Whew. Let's talk skills. Let's do skills real fast because we're going to need to have that athletics high. We're going to give her a bonus for... Well, we'll take a look at the rest of the Boggart, see if they have anything. Some survival. Give her some nature. Just kind of give her some signposts as to what she does. Oh, yeah. Stealth. Stealth and bonus in water. Dull. Plus X in water. Oh, it didn't need double parentheses there. Okay, so athletics is going to be her bread and butter. Pretending, I don't need to get these numbers exactly correct, but pretending that she is expert in it gives us an 8 with that plus 5. Brings us to a 13, which does mean she might be critically succeeding on a lot of these jumps. And I think it's a little, we're higher than this, but I'm all right with it. Like, for instance, if we went to extreme, yeah. If we went to high, yeah, that feels fine. Nature. Yeah, we're not going to get too high with that. You know, she's functional. Just more showing off that she can do these things. All right, we're going to put this at 8 and plus 10 in water. There. Those look like fine stats, or fine skills for her. Don't want to give her Intimidate. I don't want to, because she's going to be going to a Rage anyway. I don't want to even put that as an option for GMs to make that mistake. And she's got no Charisma anyway, so. Boggards get Dark Vision? Dark Vision. Boom. Okay. Anything else? Hit points. I want to look at hit points. It says max of 78. I think we can probably get away with even more. Because we're not going to be giving her that that temporary hit point bonus, because it just gets messy. When you're GM side, I mean, I'm not too worried about, 4 extra hit points. Or in this case, it'd be 10 extra temporary hit points. It could be. Baking it in feels right. Did I skip past HP? I absolutely did, didn't I? All right, let's see here. Hit points. Here we are. Level 4. Saying high is 78. Still, yeah. Can I get away with more? I'm gonna take it up to 80. Just 80. It's still a lot for sure, but it's just 5 more than the average. All right, Boggards 25 feet, 20 feet. Sure, speed wise. Do this every time. 20 feet. Swim. 25 feet. And I have to uncapitalize this. And Swamp Stride? What's going on, Swamp Stride? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this should be not in... I feel like this should be in the defense section, but that's just me being nitpicky. Huntress, Lorb Tub. I like saying her name, can you tell? Alright, Lorb Tub ignores... Swamp Stride. No actions, boom, boom, boom. And here's my reason for wanting to make this... I don't want to give her a Tug and Grab. I don't want to give her the Croak. The stuff that all Boggards have, I don't think she needs. But Swamp Stride should be in there, because I'm going to be playing around with the idea of turning everything swampy. Here's why I say this should be in defense. 1, or general ability. Whoa, I turned Rage into general. I didn't want to do that. Yeah. I mean... Alright, this is why it is offense, and I get it now. We've got speed already in here. So, if speed's in there, it is an offense ability. Done. We've got our general section up here, defense section here, general and offense down here. This feels empty. Am I... No, that's fine. Fortitude, very high. Reflex, decently high. And will. Can we go a little smidge up on reflex? And a little smidge down on will. Okay. I think we've got our Huntress Lorb Tub all sorted out. I will need to give her items. And items I'll be getting back to later, but she's got 2 hatchets. So the reason I go back to items later, 2 hand axes, studded leather armor, because it will become treasure, and treasure is a pain in the ass to measure, to like convert over. So I'm going to call them +1 striking hatchets. For now, these are all placeholders. And I need to go and be extra persnickety and italicize those. Studded leather armor. And I'm going to say like box of fancy cigars. And if I want to, in the text, I can say that she can make a concealing kind of aura of it. But I don't know. It now, like, a concealment doesn't really fit with what her kind of play style is, so to speak. I'm going to make this big real fast. Take a screenshot in case that this doesn't save, because it's happened to me before. All right, and small again. Boop, there we are. All right, there's our Huntress Lorb tub. Nice, done in the bag. Check that off my list. Boom. Super exciting, I know. I feel like we do so much time converting all of these creatures over, making new creatures. And maybe it's the least exciting part of the stream, but it's also something I can do on stream pretty easily. When it comes to other stuff like building out a chase, not a chase scene, but, you know, this subsystem for adding time to the clock, for instance, it gets trickier. All right. Lorb tub taken care of. Flurry, not in love with it. Hey, good choice, me. Rage, blah, 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 blah. I'm taking it out. All right. Cascus, I want to do all the Jade Ravens later. So what we do get is Chief Lorth. Lorth here, and he is level 5 is what I've said, and I'm okay with keeping that. Cascus, no, we'll get to you later. Chief Lorth. All right, he is our fighter. He is the chieftain of the clan, and I had written down here, shoving, bashing aside, knockdown, power attack, ignoring damage, reaction to gain resistance to an attack. Okay. Yeah, he's got a big old club, so this screams battering people aside. Improved bull rush. He's got cleave, power attack, weapon focus. So his role is literally to hit things. Oh, what a memory. 3.5. How frustrated I would get at combats. Not because like, oh, this is boring. Because I had a lot of fun. I loved playing 3.5 in combat, out of combat, all that stuff. It's just the thing is that once you found out what your character did, you just did that in combat. And as a GM, my players would just kind of go up and say, okay, I walk up and I attack. And I'd say something like, ooh, well, even in 3.5, I wouldn't say this because the systems were even more nebulous than they are now. You'd say like, ooh, do you want to maybe demoralize the opponent with an intimidation check? Do you want to parry their weapon? Do you want to kind of riposte them? No, why would I do any of that? I'm going to hit the guy until he dies, or he's going to hit me until I die. And my stats are better, so I'm not going to die. And so these builds, like you're seeing over here, okay, just focused on hitting things. Weapon focus, great club. +1 to attack rolls. Weapon specialization, great club. +2 to damage, or maybe +4 to damage. This is looking like +4. He's two-handing it. Wow, this is a sad strength score for a two-weapon fighter, or two-handed fighter. So what is adding 4 for the attack? What? This doesn't make any sense. Oh, this is power attack factored in. That's what this is. Power attack factored in. I don't know. 3. It's been a while since I've done all of this. 7. Stuff. Anyway, long and short is, I want to say that weapon specialization, all it does are math. Improved bull rush allows him to bull rush without being hit by an attack of opportunity. Power attack does power attack is not what it is in Pathfinder 2nd edition. Power attack was instead you take a more inaccurate strike to add a boatload more damage. But it just became another math fixer because if you didn't use power attack, it was essentially pointless because you would already have your math fixed to the point that you would not be missing. So, yeah. And cleave gives him a swipe. Okay. So looking at him, not interesting. I want to play him like a bully. I want him to command the space. He's got hunters with him, and he's got Chunkus the Rust Monster. Chunkus appearing in the year 2006. So I'm wondering when Big Chungus or Chunky Monkey, like all these, yeah. Chunkus feels like ahead of its time at 2006. I could be wrong. It just kind of feels like a weird little, like the Jessica being a common name back in the Victorian era. It feels wrong, and it might not be wrong. Go, Chunkus the Rust Monster. This is going to be a heck of a fight. This is going to be our severe. We're going to put him at level 5. Level 5 with his hunters. The hunters we already said before are going to be like 30 experience. Sorry. 3 Boggart Scouts. Okay, so I said 3. The Rust Monster is level 3, so that's going to be... I should just... Building encounters. I should just stop closing these tabs. He says closing another tab. If it's level 3, it's going to be 1 down from the party, so there's another 30 experience. We're at 45 experience, and if he's level 5, that's 90, 135. Is that right? Have I got that right? Yes, 135. That puts us over severe, but we're getting a little help from Leah May Teslikaria, who's going to be doing what? I think she gets her last spell long enough to escape, and then she's got her cantrips to rely on. Which, if you'll take a look, cantrips in 3.5, you could run. Why and how does that sorcerer speak Druidic? Good question. I have an answer, but it's not a full answer, because it's dumb. So you'll notice she speaks Common, Dwarven, Druidic, and Sylvan. I'm going to go and just jump up a little bit to Cascus Keel, our Dwarven Druid, who speaks Common, Dwarven, Druidic, and Sylvan. I'm going to make a very weird guess. And if I'm a GM, this feels like, to me, some interesting storytelling experiences that maybe a lot of GMs didn't pick up on, or maybe didn't want to pick up on, is that Cascus Keel, this dwarf druid, and this human sorceress had a relationship. And I'm going to say, if you teach a druidic to a non-druid, that's it, man. You should not be associating with druids anymore. This fella here is a mercenary. Now, admittedly, that Leah May is new to the group. I think she's the newest. I'm curious. Now you got me thinking. Let's look at the other ones. Here's Tolan Kientai, only speaks Common. Here is Zan, only speaks Common, Elven, and Orc. 100%. I feel like they had a relationship. He is going through sort of a crisis of faith. I don't know. I feel like if we do a write-up on these, we could expand that more. We can kind of balloon that out a little. But I think there's something there. But it does speak to the relationship that Cascus has here with Leah May. Both lawful neutral too. Very interesting to me. Again, taking a look, Tolan Kientai, lawful neutral. All right. And Zan, just neutral. So yeah, I have a feeling that he oopsied. Well, yeah, they could have done that too. They could have just been like, yeah, languages. All right, I'm curious. Now I'm kind of curious. Intelligence. What's her intelligence? Oh, no. I think you're right. She's an intelligence of 10. She shouldn't even know any of those languages. Does she have any feats that give her that? Nope. Does she have any skills? Skills. Where are the skills? Here we go. Concentration, knowledge, spellcraft. No! I think you're right. No! They copy-pasted and fucked up. That's exactly what it is. Here's what we're doing. Okay, we're doing that thing that I said because that's way more fun. It's just Control C, Control V. She speaks Druidic and Dwarven for some reason now. All right, well, it really just makes me laugh that I went on like a wild, insane theory, and then none of it. This is the thing. I mentioned in the very, very first stream where I said, you're going to look at these stat blocks and you're going to notice things wrong. Because these were... I think the adventure paths were definitely in-house Paizo people, but a lot of adventures were written by freelancers, and it wasn't like the quality was low, but that the bar for entry and getting everything on the dot correct was a lot lower. And I think, we didn't have so much scrutiny on these products back then. I don't know. I could be wrong. Obviously, role-playing games have gotten bigger since the advent of Matt Mercer and Critical Role, and D&D 5e kind of becoming what it is with Stranger Things and everything. So we have an influx of people into the hobby that have different expectations, which requires the companies to give a shit more. Not that they didn't give a shit. This is a very small thing. Okay. What was I doing? That's right. I was making Chief... Oh, his name is not as fun to say. Lorph. Chief Lorph. And he's going to be our level 5 Chaotic Evil? Yeah. Alright. Chaotic Evil. Medium, human... Again, I'm taking this off so I can do it the right way. I think the fellow that put together the PF2 tools is moved on to something else. I think he's doing like Foundry stuff or something. But if ever he wants to hear me complain about dumb little things, I'm your man.
Like, well, actually, if I write down an item, I would like to italicize the items here. It's really, really frustrating to me that I can't do that.
All right, Bogard, humanoid,
and I'd like things in alphabetical order, if you would, please.
Oh, did I not write? Hold on. Where's Lord Lorbtub? Huntress Lord Lorbtub. Oh no, my stomach. Oh no, my stomach. Oh no, I'm hungry. Boggard, common, curious, intelligence, cool. So, got to get her some languages here. Speaking of languages, making sure you don't have to be smart to speak common. Tell that to the Taldans. Haha, jokes about Taldans. Boggard, common. What? I wasn't typing. Alright. So, things we want him to do. I love the idea. He's got this great club. He's two-handing it. There's very good art in the slithering that makes me think of it. I'm always so leery using Google on this. I don't know what's going to come up. Boggard, Pathfinder. The artwork that I really like that kind of gets me... I'm sure... Yep, there we go. Croak Chief Globbit Skink Eater. This is kind of the... Nobody heard that, right? Everybody hear my stomach just like make the worst noise ever. This is the vibe I'm kind of getting from this chief. This actually, I think, is kind of occurring around the same-ish level. I think slithering starts at 5, and you'll see a lot of these. Also, boy, this is some great art for the chieftain. Obviously, I'm not stealing art for the chieftain, but just ideas for how I want to design these sort of characters. In terms of, yeah, I'm alright with that. All right. So I want him to be swinging this big, just giant, nasty, fuck off, great club around. His base, in the module, he's got a cleave, and I like that. Maybe he's got a wild swing. That could be really fun. Where is his fight? Fight takes place V23 in the basement. Let's take a look at that, because that's going to determine a little. Wow. Wow, look at this room. This is an awesome arena. So, a lot of mobility. We have these columns to hide behind for his scouts, which could be interesting. And he's going to be the one kind of in the front. This is it. Yeah, I really enjoy this. There's a choke point here, which, Chunkus can be in. Well, the scouts hurl javelins. Chunkus and the chief are fighting here. We've got this, I believe, I want to look again, that this is a cistern, not a cistern, just a little stream of water that's going through. Let's take a look. All right. Is this real? Hold on. All right. Water from the central pool in the courtyard flows into this room, cascading through a grate in the south wall and then out the second grate. So, all right. It's just a... Yeah. All right. It's just a stream of water that goes through. I'm curious if it's saying this is the muddy floor, everything is a muddy floor. So I think if everything is a muddy floor, that also changes things. Where all the boggards have the advantage. They can all move on that without any problem. Not so for the rust monster, but let's see. Doesn't really matter as much because the rust monster's just gonna it's got a speed of 35. Anyway, hey, we can just climb on the walls, which would be even more fun. Oh god, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. This is so interesting. Okay, so he's turned the ground here into soupy approximation of the swamp he loves. So looking back. We've got our sorceress. She's chained to the wall, I believe. Very, I don't think she's chained to the wall. But that's very, classic damsel in distress. 2006. It's fine, I guess. So she might be back here. The players come down. Oh, God, what's going on here? Aha, what are you doing here? We're going to go Chunkus, my monster. And it rushes forward. He rushes forward. Scouts. Maybe we got some scouts up here, depending on how the GM wants to play it. So the players have something to fight while this bottleneck is happening. Leah May is trying to break free. She uses a charm person, which is almost certainly bound to fail. But he'll have a low will save, I imagine. So even with incapacitation, there's a chance that something will work out. No, we'll see. Yeah, I like that fight. So, what I want to give him, if he gets this choke point, give him a sweep in front of him. A 2-action, attack everybody. Okay, I mean, for instance, there is the barbarian ability. I believe it's just called sweep. Step sweep. Step and sweep. No, really? I've already forgotten what it is. Barbarian. Let's just look up barbarian. Here we go. It is a level 2 feat. Why? I feel like these things come to me a little too quickly. Furious Flame. Shake it off. Barreling charge. Maybe it's level 4. I didn't make this up. This is a real thing. Swipe. Yes, that's what it is. Make a single melee strike compared to the attack roll of the ACs of up to 2 foes. If we turn that to 3, make a single melee strike with a -2 penalty. I enjoy that he gets the 3 squares in front of him. I mean, there's no facing. 3... Yeah. Each of whom must be within your melee reach and adjacent to the other. So yeah, okay, there's our wording for it. Roll damage only once, apply to each creature you hit. Yeah, okay, I'm turning that into 3 with a -2 to the attack roll. I like that. Maybe even making it on a crit, they're knocked back 1 or 5 feet, but I think that might be too much, because that's a 2-action hit 3 people. Admittedly, again, we go into what the players will learn from this fight is, if 3 people get into melee combat, or he joins us while we're all bunched up, we can very easily position around that, and I like that for the players. I hate if you give like the players have no recourse against something. Strength of Thousands game. Speaking of, did Bees join that one? Is it who? Oh, that's FMFF. Strength of Thousands game. We had a fight that was just absolutely destroying the group, and it was driving me insane because I could see. I was like, wow, my God! If you can see the creature keeps doing the same thing, and you keep responding. I wish you're. Yeah, I'm sorry. What's okay? I think I mentioned this before, and I don't want to be. I hope this wasn't like the sad thing. When I first started recruiting for Strength of Thousands, I had my short list of people. My short list was quite long, and this was 2 jobs ago. I was working at a school, and I was sitting there like staring at this list, and I was like, I like bees. I keep seeing bees on the forums, and I want to get bees into a game, and then I forget what. Because I'd gotten risky, and I think you had pitched a barbarian as well, and I was like, I can't. I got 2 barbarians in the Magic game. I was like, I don't know, man. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that that was 3 years ago that I opened up Strength of Thousands, and we're finishing up book 2 now. But yeah, I was gonna say the I think it might have been a ranger. It was a really long time. It was 3 years, and in 3 years we've gotten done 2 books, which is one, play by post, business as usual, but it's also like I have been sitting down and like just going into world building and just oozing flavor on everything because I really love the setting. Magambia has become one of my favorite places in Galarian. I'm trying to think if there's any other place I really love more right now. I actually Rahadun, because no one's done anything with Rahadun, and in my mind it's a very cool place, and I want to do stuff with Rahadun. So the Strength Thousands group, we're having trouble with this fight, and it's just brutally pounding them. It's a severe encounter, I think, against like a level +2 creature, and I remember that it was Nex who was like, man, the thing that's killing us is this reaction. If only we could do something about this reaction. And I was like, yeah, you could grab this creature or trip this creature or do something to this creature. And he was just like, hideous laughter. It doesn't have the reaction anymore. And I was like, that works too. Great. Thank you. I love when you solve a puzzle in Pathfinder and that all the combats and the encounters are puzzles. So when you convert stuff, you have to be able to design a miniature puzzle for players to kind of interact with. All right. What was I saying? I'm going to go. Banishing Swipe. Banishing Swipe. A little nod to the fact that it is the swipe ability, essentially, from the... it's Banishing Swipe. Now I want it to knock back. So I might change the name. Chief Lorth swings his club in a wide arc, and I realize I was saying like I don't want to have abilities dependent on the weapons that they have, and then I would write in an ability that literally says they're using a club to do this. I don't know. I'm a hypocrite. In a wide arc, striking everyone around him. Now to steal everything from Swipe. Literally all of it. Literally just steal it all. Oh. Alright. Oh man. Oh my, I'm hungry. Chief Lorth makes single melee strike with a -2 penalty and compares the attack roll result to the ACs of up to 3 foes, each of whom must be within all right, each of whom must be within just melee reach and adjacent to at least one other target. There we go. I roll damage only once and apply it to each creature. Okay. I'm gonna save this attack just to make me... I'm also contemplating just making some food real fast. Attack. 4. The purposes? No. 2 attack, 4 multiple attack. This attack counts as 2 attacks. Okay. But, I gotta put in the only increases kind of thing. I don't think I need to. Do I need to? Let's look up double slice. Let's look up, okay. 2 attacks, calculate, 1 calculate. I like that more. Okay. I might have even deleted that for calculating multiple attack penalty. Alright, let's see here. I roll damage only, yeah. Damage is... you know what? I'm going to just remove this, because it doesn't matter to me. Does it? No, it kind of does. It's only rolled once and applied to each target separately. Oh, yeah, I'm getting hungry. Oh, I'm getting hungry. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, and I think I'm going to be streaming for like another hour. I'm like, I don't want to eat on stream because I did that a lot. What did I have last time? Anyway. This is good. I like this. Alright, let me read that again. Chief swings his club in a wide arc, striking everyone around him. Chief makes a single melee strike with a -2 penalty and compares the attack roll result to the AC of up to 3 foes, each of whom must be within melee reach and adjacent to at least one other target. Cool. Damage is only rolled once and applied to each target separately. This attack counts as 2 attacks for calculating multiple attack penalty. Boom. Alright. That said, I'm going to call it a crushing swipe so I can give him banishing blow. Now, here's why I like the idea of banishing blow, so to speak. Banishing blow would be big strike. It's essentially that wind-up power attack hit. Boom. But it's got a rider that it knocks them back. We're going to be knocking them back into difficult terrain, which means they can't step out of it, and if the chief then moves afterwards, they're in a much more difficult position to get back to him. So I am making this another 2 action. We're going real heavy on the 2 action abilities. But in fairness, we've got a lot of heavy hitters. And them having 2 action abilities kind of... what's the word? It puts a cap on how much damage they could deal. And I like that. Does this need any traits? I'm curious. Does this have any? Does Swipe have any traits on it? I don't think it does. It's not like... It's Flourish. I'm not putting Flourish. It doesn't need Flourish. It's very silly. This doesn't have any... the Chief does not have any other abilities to interact with Flourish, so I'm alright with that. The single blow. Chief Lorth sends his opponents soaring. There we go. Okay. Chief Lorth makes a melee strike on a adjacent creature. What's the... so I want it to be on a successful hit. So hit. This strike deals an additional die of damage and pushes the target back 5 feet. Okay, easy, just boom. On a critical hit, the damage is doubled, obviously, and the target is instead pushed 10 feet back. Boom. I'm not sure that the wording on that is perfect or anything, but it'll do. It'll do. So, all right, we've got the chief. We're gonna give him. I didn't even look at a roadmap for him. I want to make him a soldier. So he's gonna have high armor class. That's cool with me. Looking at his stats, is he? Okay, I love, int 6. I love the idea that Chief Lorf is an idiot. Let's keep that at least -1. And, yeah. And let's give him at least some charisma. That's how he got control. That's how he's running stuff. But he's running through strength, might, power. There. These look like some brutal stats for anybody, but I'm okay with this. Give him some dark vision. Oof. I'm going to eat okonomiyaki for lunch. And if you haven't had okonomiyaki, I heartily recommend it. It is a very good, very filling meal. All right. Extreme armor class. I want to do some quick math. What time? When the expert comes online? It should be level 4, right? Marshals get expert in their attack rolls at level 4. We're gonna 9 plus 4, 13. Yeah, all right. 25 armor class is doable. Oh, second question. Okay. If you summon big domineering boggart, then some sort of intimidating ability. So I was thinking about that. I was like, I give all of my like boss leader types, I always give them some intimidation stuff. And I do want to do that. You also, bam, you nailed spelling okonomiyaki. You nailed it. And I think I might go the opposite direction with it in terms of like giving him an inspiring presence, almost bard-like. But I also did just do that with Diamondback, so I might give him a croak ability because the other boggards, taking a look, they all have the terrifying croak. I might just give him like a croak reaction, or just another croak, just this but more powerful, which I enjoy. Okonomiyaki, and I'm gonna make this the best. I'm gonna make this fun. Okonomiyaki, boom. It is like a Japanese everyone describes it as a Japanese pancake, and I do not like that description. First off, this is not correct. No, I shouldn't say that. There's 2 types. There is a Hiroshima okonomiyaki, and then what I just call the normal okonomiyaki. This is like fried dough and cabbage and meat, vegetables, and if you're from Hiroshima, also noodles, which means wrong. My wife and I, we where we live, we put what's called katsuo on top, which is that it? This is a blurry picture. This is kind of it. This is a better picture of it. Here we go. Katsuo, which is like dried fish, kind of sprinkled on top, which I know for some people, especially a lot of Americans, are not super into that idea. Really, 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 really tasty, actually. We also fill ours with, it's so good. And I got a whole boatload of them. Ooh, here's some benishoga on top, which is like a pickled ginger sort of thing. That's also very tasty. What happened here? Oh my goodness. This is what happens. If you haven't watched like Uncle Roger, there's a great YouTuber, comedian, depending on how you feel, watching white people make very traditionally Asian food. This is how I feel when I see food that I see like all the time here, and I Google it and I see foreigners, probably white people, make like traditional Japanese food. This what is happening here? BBC bad stuff. Oh no, I was right. Nailed it. Rachel Phipps. This is a travesty. I don't even want to note that this starts with ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, honey, and soy sauce. Oh no! Oh no! None of this. You get this. This looks like a bad latke. Keep British people away from food. They must be stopped. This is just bacon. I'm sorry, this is just a pancake. Don't tell me. If this is the BBC again, I'm getting real angry. Severe. This is not right. No. Chef Ricky Dolinsky. No. This is a New York City yoshoku. Well, okay, so yoshoku would essentially, well, no, it wouldn't. It would kind of mean dinner, but yoshoku, yushoku, banshoku. I'm not sure how I agree. Oh, he's doing it Hiroshima style. Yakisoba noodles. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, look, this okonomiyaki is made Hiroshima style. I don't know. I haven't had Hiroshima style. I don't know about this. This looks like garbage. I wouldn't eat this. Well, I would. You kidding me? Of course I'd eat it. Anyway, getting distracted. I love okonomiyaki. And it's also very cheap and easy to make. I love it. What's I doing? Oh, yeah. Pathfinder. So intimidating. And a croak for him. So there's an interesting design that I was looking at. I got it right here. Because I'm currently running Fall of Plaguestone. Who have I got in Fall of Plaguestone? My brain turned off. And I know I've got Dawn in there. I've got Poison. Here we go. I've got Poison and Tawdry Monster. And the One Who Knocks. Cool. Fall of Plaguestone opens up with a piece of design that I haven't seen anywhere else, and this being the first adventure that came out for 2nd edition, unless you're counting the Hell Knight one. I forget what that's called. Torment and Legacy, something like that. Or if you count the Adventure Path Hell Knight Hill. All right, where is it? This is an interesting path to go down. All right, here we go. Very first page, page 5. Caustic Wolf. 2 action, Howl. It demoralizes all enemies within 30 feet. We've seen abilities like this all the time. However, all wolves within 100 feet can spend a reaction to join in the howl, causing the effect to also emanate from them. Which they use the wolf's intimidation check with a -4 penalty. Now, I like that piece of design. However, there is a problem with it, and much love to Jason Bowman, and I know how the process goes in writing adventures. They go through so many design steps, and things change. I'd like to note that this right here, this map, this is where the encounter takes place. I'm going to just do a quick count here. You don't need that much range for the intimidation check. 30 feet is going to do you. So you don't need to be like, aha, and the howl can go into different areas from 100 feet away. No. I'd love to see that at higher levels, abilities that could do that. I was going to say applying something like he croaks and everybody else croaks at once and allows them to use reactions to croak because the room is large. But as we already said, it's not going to there's going to be kind of a choke point there. But I'm curious if we could give him a croak. A croak that... All right. Let's talk about other boggards for a second, because this one is interesting. We have a croak that interacts with things. The Boggart Swamp Seer has a regular old terrifying croak, just like every other boggard has. And then they have a destructive croak. Bees, Thank you, thank you. I'm always happy to have you. I'm probably going to be calling it before long as I'm starving. I'm going to get the chief done and probably call for the night. So you enjoy yourself. Enjoy your week to come. Now, taking a look here. This can deal damage with the croak. I'm curious. Could we give him... Oh, an intimidate. That affects the entire room. I don't know. I'm going to shelve that idea for a second. Because dealing damage. He's got enough damage dealing things. And intimidation. Do I want to give him... Alright, here's what I got to do. I need to use the bathroom again. Like on bathroom break 3. I'm going to just leave this on the chief. And I'll be right back. I think I've got it. What's this saying? I'm still muted. Alright. Hold on. Am I still muted? No one's here. Unmute. Okay, I think I'm good. Alright. I think I may have got it. What if I take both ideas and kind of wrap them together? He can free up his scouts. Like he gives a croak of authority. He one action croaks, which allows his scouts, his boggards around to also croak. They can step and croak as a reaction. Easy peasy? That feels easy. I really like that as an idea. I'm gonna type it in, see what happens. All right, let's see what happens. Anything could happen. Let's while I'm here. 25 feet. And what is it called? What is it? Swamp stride. This is what attention deficit disorder looks like. You're like, oh, by the way, I should do this, and I nearly just pulled up just a few more things. All right. Croak of authority. This, we're giving it a flourish. Yeah, that feels fine. All right. Chief Lorpth unleashes a deep croak from within, rallying his soldiers to join in his chorus. Okay. All boggards within 100 feet may use a reaction to step. Okay. And use their terrifying croak ability. And use their terrifying croak ability. Now, out of curiosity, okay. The DC, the will's DC, okay, hold on. The will DC is increased. Yeah, the will DC increased to DC, he's level 5. Let's see here. Let's see. So he's level 5. Level DC. There we go. So I've got 20. Building creatures. Let me see here. Spells. Well, these are spells. Hold on. 22. Out of curiosity, Boggart Swamp Steer is 19, I believe. 19, and that's level 3. So we can go higher than that. Design abilities. Curious. 3. High DC. Moderate DC. Alright. Let's go DC 22. Or whatever's higher, you know. Is increased to DC 22. Will DC with a DC 22 will save to. I want to look at the exact wording. Oh man, yeah. This could be very brutal. I'm gonna bump that down maybe a little bit, at least to 21. Terrifying croak ability. And the will save and the will DC increased to 21. Alright, all boggards within 100 feet may use a reaction to step and use their terrifying croak ability with the will. That makes sense. With the will DC to save increased. I feel like I don't need to add anything else to him if I do that. Whew, look at this guy. This is a big boy. All right. "100 feet feels weird and arbitrary. I know it was in there because I liked reading in the Fall of Plaguestone, but 60 feet feels more like accurate, and that's how it should be. All right. Ooh, getting tired and hungry. Alrighty. Oh, I need to copy paste over the Swamp Stride. Let's pull up Blorb Tube. Huntress. There it is. Where's our Swamp Stride? Oh, it's really not much to copy paste. I'm just lazy. Chief Lorpth. Okay. Boop. Lorph. There we go. Dang, this is a this is a very cool fight. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. And given that it's likely going to be the one fight that is actually a challenge for the players, because the other one is going to be against his Luaboa, his spellcaster, and it's potentially just a singular fight against them. This is going to be the real challenge of the dungeon here, so to speak. Cool. Now we just add in numbers and hitting things. Great club. So we're gonna give him the high attack, high damage. I mean, yeah, let's look at great club real fast. Great club. I should probably stop. Yeah, getting rid of my DCs by level. D10s, 2d10. All right, let's look at numbers. 2d10. So that's averaging before we add any bonuses. 11 damage. Averaging 11 damage. We want our damage to be averaging. Strike damage is 5. High to be 16. Yeah, 2d10 plus 5. I think I can even justify him having the 6. 2d10 plus 6. Nice. Plus 6. Bludgeoning. Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything else there. Am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me look at boggards real fast. Maybe that'll jog my memory. Items. Yeah, items. But that's about it. I don't want to fill up these NPC stat blocks with all the things that boggards can typically do. If a GM really wants to put them back in, sure. I'd rather make a creature that uses those abilities much more interestingly. So maybe the spellcaster later will have that. Items, yes. +1. Striking, great club. And hide armor. And again, I will come back to see if these need like more runes for treasure, if there needs to be just magical items on these guys that they can find. But for now, it's fine. Okay, I think that feels pretty good. He's gonna croak. Oh, yeah, and knock people aside. He's gonna be quite the handful, quite the heavy hitter. All right, let me see here. Take a little screenshot. Boop. Tossed it in my little giant unedited mess of stuff. Boom. All right. I do have about, typically I'd go for another hour or so, but I am getting really hungry, and I have to put out some fires family side. This feels like a good stopping point for now. We got done today. Taking a look. This influence section, which I'm going to have to clean up. And we got two of the big heavy hitters from the adventure. The Huntress Lorb Tub and Chief Lorpth. So that's cool. All right, I'm excited about that. And I got to draw little pictures and stuff. The other thing that I wanted to do was get the Boagorg, the spellcaster, and the Jade Ravens. I'll either save that for next stream, or I will find some time this week to do that. Likely next week because time is a precious thing that I just can't get a hold of. All right, cool. Oh, and we got a stat block for Dreveraz because he's also potentially there to join in a fight. So that would be our next stuff to do. But I'm hungry, I'm starving, and I've got some okonomiyaki to eat. So I will end the stream here. Tune in Thursday. We're going to do design stream, which is going to be skill feats and a level 0 adventure. And we're going to talk about writing an adventure for our own home game. So we're not always doing adventure paths or modules. you can kind of tell your own story. So, thank you very much, everybody, and I will talk to you on the next stream. Bye-bye.